CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now, it's time to stand for truth.
How are you? It seems like Wednesday, but it's only Tuesday. Hey, Don, good to see you. First here, as always. Hey, Danny. Hey, Marianne. How are you? Saw some other people come in I missed. Hey, Nanette. Vicky, hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for inviting people in and your followers and sharing this on Twitter. Thank you so much. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Hey, Metal, how are you? New to this too? Okay, great. Hey, Harold, good morning. Hey, Lewis, good to see you. God bless you, Lewis. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Gajit, how are you? Chris, good to see you. What's up? Yes, Danielle, fires have kind of gone down. Hey, Brad, the winds have died down, so the fires, at least in the southern part, seem to be really good. In San Diego, Los Angeles, getting a lot better. Some people having still some issues up in Santa Barbara, but that's getting better because the winds have died down. So we're getting much better. Ventura moved up into Santa Barbara fires. Thank you, Lewis. Hey, Lee. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so as you invite people in, I'm going to, hey, Robin and Hugh, good morning. I'm going to be reading to you Psalm 47. Oh, clap your hands, all you peoples. Shout to God with the voice of triumph. For the Lord Most High is awesome. He's a great king over all the earth. He will subdue the peoples under us and the nations under our feet. He will choose our inheritance for us, the excellence of Jacob, whom he loves. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises. Sing praises to our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing praises with understanding. God reigns over the nations. God sits on his holy throne. The princes of the people have gathered together. The people of the God of Abraham, for the shields of the earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. Amen. Hey, Susie, good morning. Thank you for the super hearts. Thank you, everybody. How's everybody doing today? God's blessing you this Christmas. Thank you, Gajit. Merry Christmas. Hello, Chris. How are you? Marlene, Lori, good morning. Good morning. Everybody sleep well, I hope. Happy first night, everyone. Okay, Don. Not sure what that means, but okay. Amen and amen. Yes. All right. So we have a lot to talk about again today, as always. Never-ending, fast-paced news. Let me see. First, I think I want to start with the fact that the Dow opened 70 points higher. I'm great, Chris. Thank you for asking. So that's good news. Happy Hanukkah to you too, Gajit. Hey, how are you? Merry Christmas. Oh, God. Hey, Danelle. All right. So let me look here. Hold on. Thank you, Marilyn. NG4TW, it's your first day on Periscope. Welcome. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to talk about is that McCabe, that he is the Deputy FBI Director, was scheduled today to testify in front of the House. And he canceled that sort of at the last minute due to a scheduling error. And the people supposedly at the House, on the Capitol Hill, are finding it kind of hard to believe. Hey, Nick, they're a little bit suspicious of the fact that he canceled so quickly like that. He was going to be questioned on Peter Strzok and Hillary's email investigation. But he decided, again, there was some scheduling error, so it's been rescheduled for next week. Hey, Cully. And they think what really happened was that with the news breaking about his first name is Bruce Orr, and Bruce Orr's wife, that he wasn't prepared to talk about it. So he sort of just said, we have a scheduling error. I hope Trump closes his fake Mueller investigation. Trump has no power whatsoever to close the investigation. Figures, Marilyn said. Hey, Veritas, good to see you. Yeah, so, we'll see what happens there. I hope. Okay, we have another repeat bot. Good. So let's talk a little bit about this Bruce Orr guy and what happened with him. Bruce Orr is a senior Justice Department official demoted last week, as you may recall, for concealing his meetings with Christopher Steele, the man behind the anti-Trump dossier, and had even closer ties to Fusion GPS. So the official's wife, Bruce Orr's wife, yeah, exactly, Susie. Has to have some extra time on figuring out what to lie about. That could very well be. But he's, with this thing with just Bruce Orr coming up about his wife, that just happened. But again, hey Joyce, good morning. How much did we actually hear about Bruce Orr and being demoted? Once again, these people in this investigation, the Mueller investigation, we're not hearing anything about. They kind of come and go. There's a lot of questions, as you know, about Peter Strzok, about Andrew Weissman, about Jenny Rhee. We're not hearing anything about it. They're here one day, gone the next. We don't hear about their cancellations, why they're not doing things, why they were demoted, why they were fired, why they were reassigned. Yeah, Mueller, I've from the very beginning, I felt that there was a total conflict of interest. He shouldn't be there. It's true that we didn't hear anything. Susie said, we didn't. We don't hear anything until afterwards, and to me, that's not right. I'm great, Millennial. How are you? How's New York today? Need a scorecard to keep people straight. You do, Marianne. I'm telling you. And there's so many people, even if you had a scorecard to keep those people straight, how many people don't we know about that we haven't been told anything about that's going on? Everything seems back to normal. That's saying a lot for New York, millennials. Sorry, that's my little West Coast getting a little jab in at New York. Hey, Rob, it's good to see you. All these politicians wish to divide us, Rob said. Well, yes, the elites in both groups really wish to divide us, Rob, because that's the only way that elites stay in control. They're still hiding some, probably. Marianne, I'm sure they are. And we're not getting all the information. I mean, we wouldn't be getting a lot of this if somebody else didn't tell us about it in Congress and find out. Hey, Rob, thanks for the flowers. God's revealing all this corruption, so that's good news. Absolutely he is. It's happening all at one time. To me, that shows you that God's behind this. Good day, Josette. How are you? I look like a China doll. Well, that's good. Both parties are so corrupted. In a lot of respects, absolutely. Hello, Danette. Good morning. Conflict of interest feels so old news because we all knew it's not reported. I know. We knew it from the very beginning. Now, Jay Sekulow is calling on an independent prosecutor to be put in place, be appointed to find out more about this, Bruce Orr and his wife. Thank you, Nanette. So I think, this is just a request. It's not anything in legally trying to make them do. It's sad how so many just brush off the corruption within the Mueller special counsel. I know, Millennial. I've been talking about it since the very first day. But it seems like everybody else in the, politicians and the news, it's old hat. They've forgotten all about it now. But when you keep having these things crop up more and more and more, I mean, how many more people are we going to have to find out about that's working for Mueller? Hey, Jerry, that we find out is some type of corruption or conflict of interest before we do something about it. Hey, Spencer, how are you? It's just, if this were anybody else's investigation, they would have called it, they would have shut it down by now. If this had happened during let's say a Hillary Clinton investigation, hint, hint, let's get one, this would have been closed down. Yeah, well, Rob, there are no lies coming from Trump or the press secretary. Satan has a stronghold on Washington, D.C. Absolutely, Susie. Sure does. It's a scam job. Yep. And it just keeps going. Going and going and going. I mean, if they're still looking to, talk to certain people, no, oh, come on, good luck. Nope, Rob, get to reality. You got no facts that you're talking about. So it's all hearsay. Merry Christmas, Rob. Altoona VA Altoona facility leadership caught violating RICA, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering statutes. How nice is that, Spencer? Unbelievable. I'll tell you one thing. Here's what happens with what's going on with Donald Trump. You can see it. That's good, Rob. You can see it from the very beginning on down to what's going on. First, you have, number one, Russia, Russia, Russia. That was the first attempt by the Democrats, hey, Molly, to get rid of President Trump. First one, Russia, Russia, Russia. When that didn't work, then they start going, and kind of in conjunction with it, but when, if they see it's not working, the second thing they'll say is, yeah, Russia crashed, exactly. The second thing is, okay, he's mentally ill. We're all worried about it. We think there's some issues here. We parade the psychiatrists out and these other people, these legal mental health professionals that have never talked to the president, probably even on the phone or otherwise, who are out there giving their diagnosis. Then 27 psychiatrists who are saying, oh yeah, he's mentally ill. So we got that. And then we have Congress people caught on open mic talking about, yeah, I'm really concerned. There's some problems. You've got Alan Schiff who's talking about there's issues with him. Then you have people who are saying, oh, well, then let's see. If it's not mental illness issues, then it's got to be dementia. So that was the next thing that they used. And then what they've done now is they've gone on from dementia and they've moved on to, oh, he could have physical issues. And what they're talking about now is, okay, number one, he drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day, which he denies, but which, I think it was the New York Times felt that was so important. We got to talk about that. I know the 25th Amendment, forget it. And then they went on from, oh, well, not only does he drink a lot of sodas, and you have MSNBC, I think it was, who were sitting there, talking like two doctors somewhere with degrees, reviewing this case that everybody is so concerned about, saying, yeah, well, that's not good to have that much sugar. Well, gosh, there's no sugar in Diet Cokes. That's why they call it diet. And then we move on from there to, oh, but maybe, says the college professor in psychology, psychological sciences, perhaps it's, not good to have this, all these drinking of the Cokes and stuff, Diet Cokes, and that could cause dementia, along with diabetes, this, that, and the other. Just in time for the January checkup that's coming, so we can make a big deal about that. I mean, it's just, it never ends. And then when all else fails, what do? Well, let's move on to Sarah Sanders. Let's attack Sarah Sanders for doing her job representing the White House instead of answering Brian Kareem's personal questions. Listen, Brian, they weren't, yesterday, you were in the press corps in the White House. This wasn't a social gathering. You weren't at a bar. You weren't having dinner with Sarah. You can keep your questions professional. Hey, tell it, how are you? You could just tell she was so fed up. And, Jim Acosta, ooh, pick me. He's the little guy always, pick me. I want to talk. I want to say something. And he has to just basically make an ass out of himself like he normally does. I know. Sarah was just like going after him. It's like, all right, I've had enough. Yeah, they need to kick these media hacks out like that April Ryan. She was rude yesterday. And you love Sarah. Yep. And when Sarah tried to move on and tell April, I'm moving on, she just kept going. April just kept going on and on and on. These people are rude. They're unprofessional. Yeah, she's going to have to stop calling on them. But then everybody in that press room, it's going to be, oh, let's go after Sarah because this is the best way to get to the president. If we can get rid of her, then he has to pick another spokesperson. That's maybe somebody we can run over like we did Sean Spicer. I mean, these people, if they would just go out and do their jobs and quit figuring out how to get at this president and attack him, I think we'd be better off as a country. But they're not going to do that. And to go after Sarah and to ask her personal questions, have you ever been sexually assaulted? None of your business. And I saw people so rude on Twitter saying to her, oh, well, if your daughter was sexually molested, how would you feel? Keep her children out of her job. How unprofessional of you to do that. And the people on Twitter, what bullies some of these people on Twitter are. I mean, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Jules, they need to go back to, figuring out how to have some common decency towards people and what manners look like. Spencer said Hitler accused his political opponents of being psychiatric basket cases too. Yeah. Aspartame is a biological secretion like alcohol. Aspartame is very bad for you. It really is. I've done research on aspartame and it's bad. But there's no proof that he drinks 12 diet sodas a day. Sarah has a tough job explaining Trump. No, Trump doesn't lie, Jason. Journalism has died. It has. It absolutely has died. Now they are accusing him of sexual assaulting these women, being paid by 27 Democrat women, want POTUS to be investigated. Yeah, I know, just that. Yeah, they don't know what it means to be professional. That's the problem. And apparently they, their news outlets love it when they go in there and they just berate her. They love it. Why aren't they removed from the press corps when lies are proven? Well, Molly, I think what happens is, again, it's a very, good morning, Barbara. It's a very thin line because of the fact that if you take somebody and if you get rid of them all the time, if you get rid of the press, then they're going to start saying that you're violating their First Amendment rights to freedom of the press. Yeah, April could use a muzzle. Megyn Kelly is foaming at the mouth to have all the accusers on her failing show. I know, Susie. She's looking for, oh, goodness, let's get my ratings up here. Let's go after these people. The owners love the contention. It's like tabloid news. It sells. Exactly, Jerry. And that's why they keep doing it. They keep sending them out there, and they keep giving them the question of the day. It's like before they walk in there, they already know what questions that their news outlets want them to ask. They probably hand it to one of the junior ones that are sitting there in the press corps, and they say, okay, go on out there, ask this, try to raise your hand, be the first question. Oh, yeah. Lewis said that they, the homeless veterans, they banned aspartame at the camp there, Camp Conklin. That's a very good thing to do, especially if you have anything like, for example, it's a neurotoxin, Lewis said. If you have anything like epilepsy, the aspartame can trigger epilepsy. I know I did a lot of research on it because I have a family member who has epilepsy. She used to drink a lot of Diet Cokes, and I told her about the aspartame. When she stopped drinking the Cokes altogether, her epileptic seizures were cut more than half. Hey, Chicago Pops, good to see you. I don't use artificial sweeteners, not good. Can mimic Parkinson's too. Oh, it's so horrible, Jerry. All natural products are all, the best, I think. It's like an advent calendar, never sure what's behind the door, Lee said. It's no longer journalism based on fact, but more like the National Enquirer based on falsehoods. Yeah, Jules, I mean, she really was thankful, too, that happened. It was really bad. Stevia is sweetener. Yeah. I haven't used that. I try not to sweeten anything, so. So anyway, let's see. So let's talk a little bit about the accusers of President Trump. Robert said, none of these things will stop DC, and MSM is so corrupt now, I don't think it can turn around. I believe that, Robin. Do not use any of it myself, Barbara said. Agave. Yeah, that's good. Small amounts of aspartame is not harmful. Well, Molly, I think the problem is that people who, if you start drinking and using on a pretty regular basis aspartame. I don't know if it builds up in your system or not. I have no idea. And I wouldn't want to risk it. I don't like stuff like that. And didn't they kill rats with it? In the studies with aspartame, it wasn't good for the rats. I don't know. Yeah, it causes cancers and tumors. Danielle said. Stevia is good, but it's not real sweet. Yeah. Barbara said cancer causing. That's what I thought. I drink it by the gallons. No, that was saccharine. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. So let's talk about the accusers. We have one accuser. Now, these, from what I understand, these are the same accusers that accused President Trump during the candidacy. So when he was candidate Trump, they said he did this to me. Hey, Robin. Then when he was elected president, they came out again and said this happened to me. And now they're coming out again because of all of the Me Too movement that's going on. So anyway, the first woman, round 2, maybe it's round 3. One of the women said, because she was one of the pageant women, she said, and this is the way she worded it. Wording is always something that you really need to pay close attention to. Worst thing for those with traumatic brain injury, Lewis said. So aspartame and traumatic brain injury do not go together. And Lewis, that makes sense because of the fact that the aspartame does affect the brain, as you were saying, with the neurotoxin and also with the epileptic seizures that I found out. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the first woman, the pageant woman, said, I was sitting getting my makeup put on, and I was naked under my robe. Okay. I see. I don't see a problem with this at all. Does anybody see a problem with this? If you are naked under your robe, that's your choice. You are under a robe. You are covered. So I don't see the problem. You never give out your phone number from pressure. Truthful woman, give a guy a fake number. What is that for, Jules? Yes, my brother-in-law died from drinking Diet Pepsi. Wow, Oris said. Trump has x-ray vision. Yeah, exactly. A robe is clothes. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if your makeup artist was male or female, but you certainly feel comfortable enough to sit there and have your makeup done, sitting there with a robe on. Yeah, Big Al's naked under his clothes right now. There you go. One lady said Trump pressured her for her number. Oh gosh. So okay, so that was the first one. I see her complaint as a non-issue. She wasn't touched. Nothing happened to her except the fact that she was sitting there in a seat with her robe on and she was naked underneath her clothes. Aren't we all naked under our clothes? You would think so, Molly. Yep. I don't think Trump was hitting on her. He just came into the room. She didn't make any allegations that he was doing anything, but coming into the room. Yeah, that's the best lot of women they could find, Jerry said. It's pitiful. Hey, Robin. She said she was afraid not to give Trump her fake number. Yeah. Okay. And so the second one said that she was a receptionist, and I don't remember where she was a receptionist at. Probably one of the Trump businesses. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. But supposedly he came in, kissed her on both cheeks, and then kissed her on the lips. And she threw in the word forcibly. I know, you're going on a stage in a tiny swimsuit. Duh, Barbara said. You read that wrong. It's okay. Okay, Jules, not a problem. She was in Trump Towers. So he kissed her on the cheek, supposedly, and kissed her on the lips. And that was it. That, I wouldn't have liked that, if that was something that somebody did without me giving them permission. So I don't know. I mean, that's a little bit, over the top there, if it happened. Why she didn't report it to somebody, Yeah, she said he kissed her on the lips, Molly. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. And second of all, okay, then the other one said that she was in business class. She was traveling. They moved her to first class. And right after they ate their dinner, he was all over her. Now, I think somebody before had said that they didn't notice anything that was going on. She claims that he was all over her and started to put his hand under her dress, and that's when she got up. All three women have said they don't want to make reports to the police. Why is that? Yes, and the other woman who said that she was had his hand under her dress supposedly worked for the Clinton Foundation and was also a friend of Hillary Clinton. I have no idea if that's true or not. But if somebody is doing something wrong to you and assaulting you, especially sexually assaulting you, why are you not filing a police report? Why didn't you file one then? Why don't you file one now? You know, it may be too late on some of these, but, you know, why not give it a try? Show us how real these are and how much you're serious about this by filing a police report. Yeah, I mean, because that's, hey, Catherine, because what happens is if you file a police report and you're lying about that, that's a felony in most states. So, but that would tell me if you're willing to do that, I'm going to put more belief in what you're saying, credence in what you're saying if you go out and do that. There was a witness on the plane too. Man said she leads was hitting on Trump. There you go. So you have a witness saying it was her, not him. How do you know who to believe more? Trump, Franken, etc. accusers? Lori said, you don't. You really don't. Because Lori, you know, that's why they have due process. Hey, Monique, you should be allowed to have due process and go out, face your accusers, and, you know, call witnesses and all that other stuff. But what's happening, one of them, the receptionist said, you know, we don't take this to court. We just want to try this, basically, in the court of public opinion. So I'm going to say to you, see, find the air log when Trump and the woman were both on the plane, then ask other passengers. Exactly, Joyce. Exactly. Yeah, one kiss, you say, don't do it again. Eld Doc said, I don't know. Can't read that, sorry. Hey, Susan, I'm tuning in from Facebook because I can't get into YouTube today again. That's weird, Monique, because YouTube is up and running. We just want to impeach the president. Exactly. And now you have these, the women from this, let's see, about 56 women are in this group called the Democrat Women's Working Group. 56 women are saying, you know, we want an investigation done on Donald Trump. So here, let me just translate that for you. What this means is we want the House, right now they're saying the House Oversight Committee. What they're saying is we want the House to open an investigation and move this toward impeachment. That's what they're not saying. But that's what the agenda is. Let's find another way to try to impeach President Trump. You listen, get the provable facts, and then decide no proof, no witness, it's just hearsay. Exactly. But that's what they're trying to do, and this is just another one of these failed attempts. It's absolutely evil. Oh, for Christ's sakes, they should work this hard at their jobs. I know, Robin. Thank you, Susan, for the super hearts. Thank you, thank you. It's a smear tactic. Yeah, it always is. Did you get up on the wrong side of the bed today? So, yeah, I think that, you know, you were going to have to watch this. And here's the thing. Any type of impeachable offense, and I'm hoping that the House Oversight Committee is going to say this too. First of all, if you try to have anything that's an impeachable offense, it has to be something that's done during the office of the president. All this stuff happened before. And I think some of them there are lawsuits with. The House should stay out of it, is what the House should do. There are legal channels that are talking to some of the people that are coming forward and saying that he looked at them funny or whatever. DJB photos, if you elected people on morals and character and that's all you looked at, you'd have no elected officials in office because everybody's a sinner. Everybody. But yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do. They just want to impeach him. And, you know, again, Franken didn't have to stand down. Hey, Toothy, Franken didn't have to. He didn't have to resign. Neither did Conyers, and neither did Trent Franks. They made the decision to step down. High crimes and misdemeanors. Yeah, isn't that what the Constitution states? Well, I don't think this is part of it. Women who are something we get mad if no one looks, then cry when they do. Barbara said, it's ridiculous the time they spend on all these conspiracies. We want to pray as a group for President Trump. We need to pray as a group for President Trump. I pray every night for Trump, the administration, and the United States. Hopefully everybody does that as well. Social media has become the judge and jury. It certainly has. Chicago Pops. I mean, yesterday, here's a good example. That the woman whose son, got bullied. I mean, did you see how everybody was going after her because she had a Confederate flag? I don't know if she said any racial slurs. I didn't follow it that closely because, frankly, what they're doing wasn't all that important to me. I care that the kid was bullied, but other than that, I'm not too concerned about it. But if the woman just has a Confederate flag, that doesn't mean that she's racist. I know a lot of black people who have a Confederate flag. And, so there you go. Trump supporters are not going anywhere. Yep, that's right, Cully. And again, all of those people that stepped down, the politicians, they were not obligated to. They were thrown under the bus for the most part. And I'm telling you, and I want to say this again because I really want you to hear this. If they can do that, then why not bring charges against Clinton and throw him in jail? Monique said. Well, he's no longer the president, for one. But Me Too every morning. Yes, good for you. The thing of it is, this is a war on men. If you don't realize it by now, men, you need to wake up. You totally, totally need to wake up. This Me Too movement, while some people absolutely have been victims and they should be able to tell their story and get justice, a lot of this is a political movement, and it's a movement to, I would say, minimize men. Maybe that's a good word, especially in politics. They want to get rid of you, and I'm just telling you, men are under attack now. They really, really are. Truths who thank God he is not like the men who sees the heart. Yes, just that. Clinton was not a flirt. He was a sex fiend. Yeah, well, Clinton just went after people, So I think the men, it started out with, a privilege. Men were privileged because they got all the breaks and stuff like that. And that kind of didn't work. And then we went from men being privileged, from the feminists to white privilege. We kind of moved into that. It is a war on men, Monique. And then when there's an evil spirit against the men to diminish them. Yes, Susie, absolutely. And I'm telling you, men, if you don't fight back, listen, you're already, there's not too much right now. Your role has been minimized, and it continues to be minimized. You almost don't need men anymore to have children. Okay? And so you've been put in skinny jeans, you've been wearing dresses now down the runway and told that's a good thing to do. You're told in school to sit still and quit fidgeting and quit being little boys, basically. And also, you're told that you're bad because look at what you've done to women. Hey, Shauna, and again, that's not to minimize what has actually happened to true victims of this, but I'm telling you, men, you are under attack. Sorry, I'm white. Sorry, I'm male. Don't be sorry, Wayne. Don't be sorry. Hey, Teresa, who was the accuser who said Trump kissed her on the cheek and then on her lips? She was a receptionist that worked at Trump Towers, Monique. She was the one with the bob. She had the bangs and the bob. I don't know their names. Goal is to have women lead. No need for men. Traditional family unit gone. Absolutely, Jerry. Absolutely. That is a communist move. That's a socialist move. Whatever you want to call it. Destroy the family. Get rid of men. Women will be the ones who are in control of everything in politics. Mini farm emergency? Good. Oh, thank God, Shauna. Yes, look at all the commercials that say they make about men who portray them as dopes. Yep. I do not consider the Confederate flag to be any symbol of racism, Spencer said. In the 70s, this happened, Brad. But, Brad, you know what? There wasn't a Me Too movement. It wasn't as, you didn't have what you have right now. Barbara says, always liked a man to say something nice, and never, I miss the rest of it. I love men. My husband is a man's man, very alpha male, soft-spoken, though, Susie said. Well, Susie, he's going to be one of the ones that are attacked first, because you're not going to be allowed to be able to be yourself as a man. We're past the halfway point. If everybody would retweet this and share and invite followers, I would really appreciate it. So I'm just telling you, men, as we come closer to 2018 and 2020, right now there is full throttle on this to minimize men's role and who men are. It's okay to say you look nice today, but not now. Yeah, that's right, Barbara. And I think a lot of things that men did before, and the things that they would say at work and all that, I'm telling you, things have changed. I don't even know right now if I'd be shaking hands with anybody. If I were a man and I had an office, that office door would always be open, never closed, never. Not unless you have another female in the room. It's like a doctor. Did you see the Twitter exchange between POTUS and Gillibrand? Yeah. Yep. Basically just more fake news with her and trying to, you have to get a body cam. Men, keep your hands to yourself, Wayne said. Not even going to talk to us anymore. Probably not, Dee. I don't blame them. I've told men they look nice, so is that wrong? Yeah, Barbara, it could be today. It's okay to say you look nice, but not now. Well, then I'm in trouble because I have always greeted people, both men and women, with a handshake and kiss on the cheek. Whoa, Monique, wouldn't do that in my office, I can tell you that. Men do not say, hi, honey pie, you look great, and no physical touch at all. Can't even shake hands. Chicago, I wouldn't. I absolutely love real men, not soy boys, Joyce said. Those feminazi women are out of control, Susie said. Well, and it's going to be even more so that way. They're not, and it's very sad. But it's changing. It's called the transformation. If you listen to any progressive, the word they know the best is transformation. And what you're seeing happening to America now is we're in the mid transformation. Because we had Obama kind of started that transformation. He really got it kick-started, and now we're still in it. The deep state, people who are still trying to, wish Hillary were president, they're the ones that are continuing this Me Too. And, I mean, it's a good thing that women are talking. It's a good thing that women who have been victimized are coming out and saying, no more, I'm not going to take it. But it's not good when it becomes a political ploy. They will regret this extremism. I don't think so. Sorry, the war between the sexes have been fun. I like being a woman. Oh, well, Barbara, those days are over. In a way, I'm glad to be retired and not dealing with all this at work. Yes, Chicago Pops. I don't, hey, Linda, good to see you. I don't think women are going to, most women, especially those in the political movement, they're not going to be sorry about this extremism. I'm always going to be me, but you can expect a punch if you touch me wrong, Robin said. The thing of it is, as I said, if you're in a job, for me, even as a female boy, I'll tell you what, I would keep that door open. Women will not be hired, Susan. This will backfire. Oh, I don't think so, Molly. I don't think it's going to backfire, and women better be hired, because if they're not, that Me Too movement's going to get even stronger. And my husband is having work to go out of town with his female boss. Woo, Teresa. Soros Fund Group sponsoring Megyn Kelly interviews, Columbus said. Never heard that, but could be. Molly, let's see. John Wayne is in heaven puking. You betcha, John. And I tell you, if John Wayne were here today, he would be, boy, you talk about somebody who'd be attacked. When I was teaching college, I never closed the door when I only had one or two students taking in after class instruction, Spencer said. Yeah, you never close that door. You don't offer a person a ride home. Never. No, never. Never find yourself alone with another person. And I'm telling you that women should do this too. They should heed this in employment as well. If you're a woman, you better not close your door either. You better not do anything, because a man can accuse you of the same thing. And I was thinking about something this morning. Mariah Carey, remember when that came out, like her bodyguard was saying that she was sort of sexually harassing? No, they can't do lie detector tests. You can't make that mandatory, Teresa. You can say it's part of your being hired, but and kind of request it. But those are expensive. It's not going to happen. But remember with the bodyguard with Mariah Carey, how come we're not hearing more about that? How come Mariah Carey isn't being chastised in the public forum? If she did that to the man, the bodyguard, that he says she did that to him. I'm praying against the spirit of Baal, Jezebel, and Ahab. It's pure evil. She gets a pass, right, Brad? Why does Mariah Carey get a pass? Because it's crazy Mariah Carey? Because it's Hollywood, singer Mariah Carey, so she gets a pass? Because then it was a woman. That's exactly why she gets a pass. Kiss on the cheek is customary and acceptable in many countries. I've never done it in a professional setting, but mostly among friends, relatives, and family. Yeah, Monique, that's okay, but you do that at work, and I don't care if it's your culture or what, you're going to be in trouble. You or anybody else, I'm saying. Yeah, but I think we should, bring Mariah Carey's name back up because, again, why do we have all of these men that are being chastised, but we don't have Mariah Carey, who there's a lawsuit pending against her right now because men like it, Dual said. Some men like it, I guess, and some women like it, but others don't. Yes, in outside work, I'm a hugger even to men I like. Whew. I don't know, Barbara. Probably you can get away with that in Texas, but I wouldn't try it anywhere else. I wouldn't do it anymore. The door for the music industry hasn't opened yet. That will be crazy. Yes. That was your repeat bot, Robin said. All right, so let me get to some other news here. The mayor of San Francisco died today at 65, and there is no reason given as to why he died. So I guess I don't know if it was sudden. I have no idea. Didn't even know he was sick. Didn't even know who the mayor of San Francisco was until today. Still don't know his name, but I know that he was the first Asian American to be elected as mayor. What about the teachers have sex with their male students? I know, Brad, and then a lot of them, well, they're going to prison for it. A lot of them do, and some don't, or they get probation. Was he going to testify? I doubt it, Barbara, because I'm sure he was a liberal. There's nothing to testify about. So, no, I think probably natural causes. Now, this is really disappointing to hear. And Susan, female teachers get away with some improper. They certainly do. I mean, they do, Molly. Especially, remember a few years back when the younger female teachers, the pretty ones, were really getting away with it when they were having alleged sex with boys in school. Are they going after Santa Claus now because kids sit on his lap? Joyce, that's a real possibility. A real possibility. So the Gateway Pundit is saying, oh, yeah, well, Jerry Brown probably is saying that it was climate change that killed him. I wouldn't doubt it. If you modify your behavior, they win. It's true, Marlene, but I tell you, if you're doing stuff that is, in the workplace that you're not sure of, I would stop doing it or seek the advice of an attorney because you'll be sued out of existence if you don't. So the Gateway Pundit is saying that Fox News' Alabama poll that showed that Roy Moore was behind Doug Jones, they got that because what they did, they surveyed more Democrats than they did Republicans. And if that's true, Fox News, shame on you. Like a speech teacher 47 years ago, Wayne said. Wow. Yeah, it was absolutely skewed polling. Or what you've done in the past. Yeah, D. Speaking of college here, dating students while legal undermines the validity of the grading process for the teacher. Absolutely, Spencer, shouldn't be happening. So, and Trump is saying that the renewed allegations against him for sexual misconduct are fake news invented by the Democrats because they can't prove Russian collusion. Are these polls? Nobody ever asked me. Yeah, I know, Robin. Nobody ever asked me. I've never had one question asked about what you think about this or that and the other in terms of politics. A man doesn't like a female boss controlling him inappropriately. Well, Column Book, nobody should be controlling you inappropriately. It depends on what the inappropriate means to everyone, I guess. Rule 1, don't get your honey where you get your money, Marlene said. Good rule of thumb. Most doctors have a nurse in the room for protection. They do, Barbara, but I've been in the room with a male doctor without a female present. You had one polled 30 years ago. Cully's never been polled. No one should control anyone inappropriately. That's right, Robin. They said it was a heart attack. The mayor, Ed Lee. Nick is saying that Mayor Ed Lee in San Francisco died of a heart attack. Probably died in his sleep, maybe, Nick. I don't know. Because it was reported early this morning. Hey, Daywolf, how are you? Fox News has old man Murdoch back at the helm. He is a diehard liberal. So are his sons and his wife. Yep. Susie, absolutely. Cardiac arrest. Yes, Marlene. So we'll see if anybody listens to Jay Sekulow calling for the special prosecutor. I'm saying, my guess is no. Fox Entertainment being broken up. Disney, look for Fox News to be next. Yeah, they're saying if thank you for the Super Hearts, Daywolf. They're saying that if that deal goes through with Disney and Fox, that Fox News is not going to be a part of it for right now. So we'll see what happens. I would say they've already been bought myself, but so we have some more information. They said he died peacefully with his family all around him. All right, Catherine, that's good. 65 is pretty young, but whew. The NFL Network, former employees who is a wardrobe stylist, is alleging inappropriate conduct against a former executive producer and ex-football players. Johnny says, I think polls died after they said Hillary 93 and Trump at 7 just one short year ago. Exactly, Johnny. Who can trust them? That is young, Molly. So they're saying Eric Weinberger, Marshall Falk, Ike Taylor, and Heath Evans. Those are the allegations that the wardrobe stylist said they were very inappropriate towards her. Oh, how come you're going to Indiana, Daywolf? Oh, that's right, you're driving. Sorry, I've forgotten there for a second. Also, Warren Moon, you might remember him, an NFL quarterback. He's being sued by a former assistant. She alleges, stocks are up 136. That's great, Robert. She alleges that was his former assistant, is alleging that he told her to wear thong underwear and grabbed her crotch area earlier this year. Mooning is back, Cully said. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Oh, yeah, ye gads, I know. Marshall Falk, that's what they're saying, and Warren Moon too. Warren Moon is a separate cause of action. That's from his former assistant, but Marshall Falk is from a wardrobe stylist at the NFL Network who says that they were inappropriate towards her. Yeah, I hope the NFL's over. I tell you, the NFL's not getting, the ticket sales are certainly going down. So I don't know what's going to happen when these people have no place to play. Well, some scopers are inappropriate to other scopers, language, etc. Yeah, and bullying, Barbara. Don't forget that. Skew the polls to suppress the votes because they are afraid of the outcome. Absolutely. Just that. Absolutely. NFL's dead to me. Yep, Susie. Haven't watched it since Kaepernick took his first knee. Now, CNN is saying that President Trump is bullying Don Lemon, and they don't like it. Oh, down because of the weather. That's a great one, Lori. I haven't watched my Steelers or any games since, Robert said. Yep, nope, me either. Hey, Gigi, how are you? Yeah, Ray Moore, easy, 5 to 10 points. Headed to Decatur. All right, cool. Goodall said attendance is only down 1%. Oh, come on. Brad, President Trump is bullying Don Lemon because he called him the dumbest man on television. So, I don't know. I think Don Lemon calling the president unhinged was pretty bad. So, I don't know. Who was bullying who? Maybe they will start a GoFundMe for him. Yeah, whoo. Don Lemon is trying to outdo the Keaton kid. Probably Probably Susie. Who is NFL? Never heard of her. Yep, exactly, Johnny. Maybe we should take a poll about Lemon. I don't want to waste my time with that, Robin. It's so true. I know. Cable fake news. I'm telling you. The Clinton Network, right? The Clinton News Network. CNN. Yeah, I think Don Lemon. I mean, Don Lemon has called everybody every unflattering word I could think of. I mean, especially the president. It never stops. Oh, poor Donnie Lemon. Maybe we will be in store for another drunk New Year's Eve broadcast. Oh, Catherine said Lemon is very racist. Well, he certainly doesn't like the president, that's for sure. Now, here's some other San Francisco news. An illegal immigrant who in 2012 beat to death 5 members of a family was found guilty. And this is an illegal immigrant from Vietnam. Susan Lemon has said a lot of crazy comments about Trump and also his daughter. Yep. Yep, he has. So this morning, I know that Jeff Sessions came on TV and he talked a lot about chain migration and how we need to stop that. And how people coming here that are, relatives of somebody that's already here needs to be stopped and is not any more important than anybody else. That we need to look at people, of course, who are able to be able to take care of themselves financially when they get here. Is anyone else tired of hearing that people are insulted? Come on, people, we're adults. I know. All right, Johnny, you too. Have a good time at the VA. Oh, hope you get waited on quickly there. Why disable the mic on the smartphones? Sessions needs to get moving. Yeah, well, I think he is moving, but we want to the best, Rob said. Yeah, I think, Sessions, I think, is doing what he can do. What is the real reason Sessions recused himself? Susie, I think that is the real reason. We don't want trash coming here. We certainly want people who are going to come in here and be dependent, people who are coming here who are educated, so that they're not on the welfare system right away when they come to the United States. No other country allows people in as much as we do, and we take in a lot of people. Yeah, we want the best. Have you seen the war in Israel? Yes, Kat. Ready to work, ready to go. That's right, Rob. Productive members of society, yes, Marlene. Something that seems for people to be a bad thing. Alexis says we have enough of our own jerks here. We don't need to import them. That's true, Alexis. Absolutely. Yeah, going on right now in Israel, I know around the Gaza Strip, there have been 2 more Palestinians that have been killed. Why won't Sessions go after Hillary and Ebola? Ebola? I think Sessions is trying to make a decision whether or not he should go after Hillary. Trump is right on chain migration. He is, Cully. He's been right about most everything, to be honest with you. He really has. Poor Israel. I know. So there's more airstrikes going on. They found that tunnel, as you know, between the Gaza Strip. Now they're calling for all Muslims around the world to fight in a jihad, Catherine. Well, because they're all mad. They're all mad. And that's why the guy in New York City said that he was doing the bombing was because of Trump recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. No one family walked across the river 20 plus years ago, been getting freebies and bringing the family, Barbara said. Yep. Hillary's not well. That's just my observation. Molly, she hasn't been well for a really long time, but she's still here. Because she wasn't well during the campaign. I mean, when she, passed out right before she got into the limo, too. Yeah, prayers for Israel. They really need them. But, sooner or later, you knew this was going to happen. I mean, as soon as anybody said anything about Israel and moving the embassy to Jerusalem and about Jerusalem being the capital, you knew they were going to go crazy because they don't like it and they never will. And they don't like Jews and they never will. And mom does not speak still and never worked and still had health care, etc., Barbara said. Yep. Jerusalem is and always has been and always will be the capital of Israel, Susie. Yes. And it's something that they don't want to hear and, they're upset about. And, again, they're going to try to create chaos because that's how they feel that the Mahdi comes back. And that's, that's their Messiah. To say it's neutralizes much dissension. Yeah, it's too bad, Catherine said. Yeah. But that's the way it goes, and that's the way it's always been. And it's funny. I was thinking about this because I mentioned to you yesterday that Russia, Putin made a sort of a surprise visit to Damascus, and he said, "I'm moving out the military because we've fought ISIS, we won that battle, took 2 years, but it's over." And I was thinking that's odd that Putin is moving out of Damascus. It kind of just struck me, and then I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. Iran said they're moving their military base into the heart of Damascus. So Russia's really not going anywhere. They're not leaving Syria. Maybe they will cut their own heads off. I doubt that, Alexis. But yeah, but I thought that was funny, Robin, because it made me think, okay, Russia's pulling out of Syria. That's a good thing. And I don't think so. They're just pulling out of Damascus. And Iran is going to take their place. They don't want to be aligned with Iran. Well, Catherine, maybe they just, maybe they know what's coming. Maybe Putin actually read the Bible and he knows what's coming. I don't know. I think they're glad to take money from Iran, but I don't necessarily know how deep they want to be in with them. Hey, Jihad, better be careful when you do behind every blade of grass. Daywolf said, that's suspicious, but he's running for president again. Russia and Iran are in cahoots. Absolutely. Yeah, he's running for president again in May. And so I think pulling out some of the military will look good. But I think it's more because Iran's going to go in there. I think Iran's probably going to take over any military bases that Russia already had built right there in Damascus. I don't know if they have them built already, but I think that it will certainly be an easy transition. We'll just let Iran kind of slide in as Russia kind of slides out. Russia been after Syria forever. And they're not, Barbara, they're not going anywhere. They're going to take over Syria eventually. I mean, right now, I think Assad is just a kind of a figurehead. And that's it. I think that's all he is. And, Assad right now is kind of happy to have him do that. Because if he leaves, ISIS will come back. And eventually, according to Bible prophecy, they're going to take over that whole region and go right down into Israel anyway. So, they're not going anywhere. Let's see what we can talk about in the last couple minutes. Putin is all smoke and mirrors, master of spinning the truth. Yeah, ISIS will... Sherry, the ISIS, I said, will come back in if Russia leaves completely, I think. The New Yorker let go one of its star reporters, Ryan Leza, amid allegations of sexual misconduct. And they learned that he engaged what they believe was improper sexual conduct. He reviewed the fact and reviewed the matter, and as a result, have severed ties with Leza. A spokesperson said, due to a request for privacy, we're commenting no further. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. So also, I think you may know that lots of that sexual misconduct stuff going around. Yeah, Shauna. Any update on Chesney? Nope, haven't heard a thing from her. New Joker magazine, Cully said. That's a good one. Hey, Sherry. Let's see. President Trump yesterday signed a directive which has made sending a human back to the moon part of the space policy. Haven't heard anything about Kate, Jules. I'm guessing because I haven't heard about Kate. Either the family's kind of, maintaining their privacy or, something. I don't think anything bad has happened. But I'm Irish Catholic, but I do not like this Pope. I know, Molly. I wouldn't either. What about Geraldo? What about Geraldo? I haven't looked at anything about Geraldo. Haven't heard anything about Geraldo except with Bette Midler, and that's it. I haven't heard anything new. Lots, another bot repeating you. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens with everything. But if you can, today, just go to SusanKnowles.com. And if you would share my article today about Sarah Sanders, that would be great. If you would retweet this, that would be great. And if you feel like it, at 10 o'clock Pacific, and that would be 1 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have God's views on political news. If you want to see that, just go to Facebook, look for that page, and find us so you can join us live on that. And I'll be putting that out later in the day in case that you don't get to do that. So anyway, okay, good, Don. Hey, Julia, thank you for inviting. I'm out of prison. I'm out of Facebook jail. What are your thoughts on the country? Georgia. I don't have any time. I've got like 10 seconds left. Maybe we can do another time. Hey, Amber. What's the page? It is God's Views on Political News. God's Views on Political News. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for retweeting all this. God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Take care. Take care, YouTube. Whoops. See you tomorrow. God bless.